What's going on, YouTube? This is Gabrielle coming at you with a very much needed update for my Hashimoto's Thyroiditis disease. The thing that prompted me to do this is because one, if I'm going to be a YouTuber, I should definitely keep you updated. But also, two, there's a lot that I have learned in between the time that I've updated you on the Armour and now. And I just want to share a couple of those things with you. Part of it is infertility with thyroid. Second is Graves disease versus Hashimoto's versus having them for life. Excuse me. Another is all of the other autoimmune diseases that are associated with Hashimoto's, and just a couple of things that I've learned along the way, and things that I've found out through the internet, and things that you might be interested in if you're not already associated with them. One thing is I found a couple of groups on Facebook about Hashimoto's. And the thing is, this is what confused me for the longest. I had a doctor in Dallas when I was first diagnosed with Graves' disease back in 2009. Now, when I had this doctor, he told me you're going to have Graves' disease for your entire life. Okay, got it. Get to where I'm at now. I move out here and I'm just like, okay, well, let me try a new thyroid doctor. I didn't like that doctor. Let me try one out here. But I'm going to keep the rest of my Dallas doctor. So every time I go home to be with my family and visit and all that stuff, I can have that excuse to go out there and to go through the rest of my doctors. So I try a doctor out here. So she tells me, okay, well, you have Hashimoto's. Now, when I told her my history, she didn't go off my history. She went off of my labs. So I didn't think anything of it. I was like, okay, he didn't know what he was talking about. I didn't like him anyway. He wasn't good. So it's all good if you can diagnose me with something else. Cool. After a while, she started to creep me out. And I mean that in the most respectful way, but she really creeped me out. So I just stopped going to doctors altogether. I actually ended up going back to the doctor in Dallas for a while. He's the one who allowed me to switch to Armour. The final straw kind of with him was that I didn't learn about Armour until I got into a Hashimoto's group on Facebook. When I got to that group, people were saying, I take Armour, I feel a lot better now. I have a lot more energy. This and that. I don't feel as cruddy or crummy or whatever. And I love it because, it's natural. So I was like, let me try that. It seems like so many people hate, well, not hate Synthroid, but some people feel really bad on Synthroid. So at least let me try something else that is natural before I just say I give up. After 5 years of not being able to get a normal lab on anything, I'm like, let me just ask him. And so I just finally say, I go in and say, can I just switch to Armour? Synthroid is just not working for me. I don't know what it is about Synthroid, but I can't get a normal reading. I feel terrible. I've had 3 miscarriages. I don't know what else to do, but I just want to try it and see if it'll at least, do for me what it did for them. And I know everything does not work the same for people, but it is what it is. So that's what led me up to the the Armour thyroid video that I did, where it actually worked great. Not only did I feel better and have more energy, my cycles got back normal and everything, like I was telling you. And other things happened that progressed greatly. And so I was just kind of like, well, let me just join some of these groups because I'm not really comfortable with this doctor, because the fact that he didn't know anything about the medicine and he was just willing to let me just try it. I was just kind of like, oh, that kind of sucks. For me, I have to research it myself to find something that works after 5 years of him trying me on Synthroid, Levoxyl, and levothyroxine, which is still Synthroid, just a generic version. And then the doctor, he giving me Cytomel. I was just like, it took me to find out that I needed Armour. So it's going to take me to have to fight this disease, you know, even if I have to do it by myself. So the more and more I was looking into this group, the more and more I found out things. I found out about a lot of people having fibromyalgia, chronic migraine, arthritis. Um, well, none have had mitral valve prolapse except me. And my endocrinologist out here found that out. But the pill that works or helps with mitral valve prolapse is propranolol, which a lot of people with Hashimoto's takes that as well. The what was the other thing that I have? Memory loss for sure, but it's something else that a lot of us have, and I really didn't know it until I got into this group. So as I'm you know, just kind of giving up on doctors, I'm just like, I don't really want to deal with it. I just, you know, I got my Armour. I'm gonna just take this, and you know, it is what it is. Stuff just started happening. I would begin to lay on my left side, and my left arm would hurt drastic. It would go numb and have like this pinching feeling in it, and then my heart would just start hurting. And it's not the palpitations, because I get palpitations all the time. I'm used to that, and it causes me not to be able to breathe at time. Well, I can breathe, but it causes me to be for it to be hard for me to breathe at times. But I'm used to that at this point. At this point, it's a really bad pain in my heart. And so I started reading, like, okay, people are saying, you know, when they lay on their left side, so something's wrong with the left side of their body. What is it? I look it up, and then people are like, I have mitral valve prolapse, and, you know, my lungs got filled with fluid. And that's what everybody was different. Everybody had mitral valve prolapse, but something different happened when they had that sensation. So I was like, oh goodness, I don't want to have to go to a doctor. Like, I do not. I ended up going to a cardiologist maybe 3 years ago when I first got diagnosed with a mitral valve prolapse, and they had me do a stress test. If none of you had done a stress test, you would hate it if you are on Thyroid. And the reason why is, if you don't exercise normally, like myself, I don't exercise. They put you on a treadmill and have you run and walk and run and jog and walk for, I want to say, 20 to 30 minutes. For a person who gets the most exercise laying in bed, and I don't mean sexual, I mean actually just laying in bed, rolling around from side to side when you switching in your sleep, that's about as much exercise as I've got. Seriously, I don't exercise. I know I should. I do know I should. Other than walking around Walmart or Kroger or some store or walking to a game, that's about the most walking I do, the most cardio, the most anything that I do. So when they did that, I was done. I didn't want to go to a cardiologist again. I said, forget that. So I never even went back to get my results. I don't know what the doctor would have told me. I really don't. But that was 3 years ago. So I hadn't been to him. We had I have like a really good insurance company, I want to say. I'm with United Healthcare, and what they did is they had like a nurse call me for some reason. And I don't know if they do this for other people with United Healthcare who have this, but she ended up calling me, scheduling an appointment, and then just talking to me about all the things that I had, all the issues I have. And she found out one big thing, and then she was just kind of like, she just kind of like, it's really important that you call some doctors. She said, I told her, like, I'm pretty much out of prescriptions. I'm on my last ones. You know, I get like 3 month, you know, prescriptions, and that's about it. So she said, you really need to call a cardiologist. You really need a primary care physician. I haven't had a primary care physician since 2009. She said you need to call one of those. You need a new endocrinologist. You need a rheumatologist, and you need a neurologist. And so I was just like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go to a cardiologist. I already know about the stress test. I'm stressed. I don't want to know how stressed I am. So she was just like, it's really serious, especially with your condition, that you do it. So I was like, fine, I'll go. Now this is what leads me to this update or whatever. I go to this new endocrinologist up here, and this is where it kind of got tricky with the Hashimoto's Graves disease comparison. I want to say, hey, I have Graves' disease because that's what I was told that I had when I had it, because I did have it. Then I hear, no, you have Hashimoto's, back in 2012 or 11, whatever. So this new doctor, I'm telling him my history that I can remember, and I'm telling him like, hey, I have Hashimoto's Thydoiritis, and I'm on Armour and this, that, and the other, and that's it. So he's writing down like, okay. I said, now back in 2009 when I was hyper, I had Graves' disease, and then they treated me with a radioactive iodine treatment. It didn't work, so they put me on potassium iodide, which is iodine, and it's the prescription is SSKI. If you have taken that, I feel bad for you because I feel bad for myself. But if you are being prescribed that and you have not taken it yet, do not take it. There's a video, I got her book called Stop the Thyroid Madness. There's a video of a doctor saying that the number one mistake that doctors make in trying to treat a hyperactive or low thyroid is using iodine, and that is the God honest truth. What it does is it does something to attack the thyroid, not just to kill it because the radioactive iodine treatment didn't work. Because in reality, the radioactive iodine treatment, if it does not work, it should be taken again. It should not just be thrown out like, okay, it didn't work. Because with people who have certain degrees, or if your thyroid is either too big where it needs radioactive iodine treatments, it may need 2 to 6 treatments. Didn't know that back then. I know that now. So if they just say, you know what, it didn't take, let's just treat you with this. Don't do it. Don't ever take potassium iodide for your thyroid. It will cause you to have Hashimoto's, which is what I have. So getting back to this doctor, I say, well, I have Hashimoto's, but I had Graves. And I said, the doctor told me I would have Graves for the rest of my life, but no one has told me I had Graves since him. He was like, well, did you get all the scans and stuff for the Graves' disease? I was like, yes. When I got the scans, they told me for sure I have Graves' disease. The thyroid was really big. My neck was swollen and all that good stuff. And I mean, they said I was going through thyroid storm and all that stuff. So yes, they did say I had Graves' disease. So he's like, okay, well, in that case, you have Graves' disease. You don't have Hashimoto's, whatever. Now, since I've been here and I had the third miscarriage, I went to a fertility specialist. The fertility specialist diagnosed me with having an MTFH or something like that mutation, and he also started monitoring my thyroid. So what he was saying is, I don't like you on Armour. I want to switch you to Thyroid. And I was just like, I've been on Thyroid. Thyroid don't work. It just doesn't. And it's not that it doesn't make me feel good. It just honestly has never given me a normal lab. Since I've taken it, it has never given me a normal lab. So he was like, for a person who, is trying to conceive or whatever, I just don't think it's safe. I want you to take Thyroid. I said, okay, I'll take Thyroid. So he sends in the prescription. I didn't take this Thyroid. There's no way possible. I'm going backwards. So I stayed on the Armour. But what I did was the first time he took my levels, he said, well, your thyroid hormone is too much. I've never gotten that. I've always gotten it's too low. So what it means is, if you know how to read the hormones, if it's too low, that means that you're taking too much hormone. If it's too high, you're taking too little thyroid hormone, and you need to increase your dosage. So one way you need to increase it, one way you need to decrease it. So what they said was mine was too high, which means that I needed to decrease my dosage of Armour, which they thought was Thyroid. So what I did was, since I was taking 120 milligrams of the 2-grain Armour, I instead started taking it every other day. So I wouldn't take it on Monday. I take it on Tuesday, not Wednesday. Take it on Thursday. And so I would come back and he would say, well, your labs look good now. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's Thyroid. Oh, that's the good stuff. But I wouldn't take Thyroid. I just decided to, adjust. So ever since then, I've been taking it every other day. And I went to a primary care physician. I went to all the doctors that the lady told me to go to. And went to the primary care physician. He, referred me to a cardiologist and all that good stuff, and the endocrinologist. So this is the endocrinologist I'm at now. And when he takes it, he said it's too low. So I'm like, okay. He wants me to take 150 milligrams, but he wants me to break the pills in half and take 75 every day. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. Why don't you just take 150 every other day like I'm doing the 120? But whatever. So I get to the cardiologist the next day, and I get my labs from me taking 120 milligrams of 2-grain Armour every other day instead of every day like I've been taking it. And this is my lab. This is my lab work that I've gotten. He did everything. He did the antibodies and all that good stuff. And he did the T4 free direct. And he did tryodothyroidine, thyroxine, T3 uptake, free thyroxine index, TSH, don't laugh, anti-thyroid globulin, which is the antibody, thyroid stem immunoglobulin, globulin, and then the thyroid peroxidase. Stop laughing. Y'all can't say it neither. Anyway, so for my T4 free, it is 0.71, which is low. It should be between 0.82 and 1.77. My T3 is 130, which is normal. And it should be between 71 and 180. So if you're looking at your lab results, then this reference, I believe, is for everybody's thyroid. So you can just check to see if your, it should be on yours anyway. But, if you remember what they told you the last time, then you can know if you're in the normal range or not. Anyway, my T4 is 7. And it should be in between 4.5 and 12. My T3 uptake is under 15, which is low. It should be between 24 and 39. And then the free thyroxine index is less than 1.1. It should be between 1.2 and 4.9. And then my TSH is 19.740, which is high. It should be between 0.450 and 4.5. So it's way off. To the antibodies, the anti-thyroid globulin AB is under 1. And that's normal because it should be between 0 and 0.9. And then the thyroid stimulating immunoglobulin, I guess, is 32. And that's normal. It should be between 0 and 139. And then the TPO, which is the thyroid peroxidase, is 142, which is high because it should be between 0 and 34. Now, I'm not great at reading these things yet. It's some people who can read it and tell you exactly what you got, exactly what you need to take and all that good stuff for it. And I'm not there yet. I'm learning, but I'm not there yet. But this is just with me taking the thyroid, Armour thyroid every other day. So it kind of lets me know that I was probably doing fine by taking it every day. And with them wanting to increase it, it shows me that I shouldn't have done that. But, trying to please the fertility specialist, I was trying to do what I thought was right. So that's why I ended up doing that. But, it is what it is. I have to wait until tomorrow because my insurance only pays for the medicine once a month. And the problem I had was my primary care physician, he took my blood work before I went to the before I went to the endocrinologist, I'm sorry. And he gave me 0.25 grains of Armour. He sent that in to Walgreens. And I think the pills were 25, I want to say, 25 milligrams of Armour. So it's this really, really tiny pills. It was only 15 of them. And I would have to take 8 of those pills to equal up to the 120 milligrams that I needed. So this is 2 weeks ago. He sent that in. And I can't get more more Armour until that 15 days has passed because he put that bad prescription in. So that sucks. Other than that, let me tell you what I found out. Well, I already did actually. When my doctor in Dallas treated me for the Graves disease, he royally messed me up. Of course, at this point, I have Hashimoto's, and I had Graves disease. I can say I have Graves disease, but this is the problem. The endocrinologist that I'm seeing now said, based on these results, I think you always had Hashimoto's. And so I'm just sitting there like, I told you from day one that I had Hashimoto's. This is my second visit after these lab results came in. And I told him, I told you that I had Hashimoto's. And he said, well, I don't think you ever had Graves disease. I think because based on these antibodies being this high, I don't think you ever had it. And I didn't really know what to make of it until I was looking in the group and someone was kind of schooling me on why not to get treated with potassium iodide. And the thing was, when I got treated with it, I broke out in hives all over my body. My body reacted so negatively to it that I had to go back to the doctor and tell him, I'm allergic to this, I can't take this. And it was little drops that I would put in my water every morning when I ate breakfast when I was at work. And it hurt me to my heart because I was new to that. I was very new to Graves' disease. And when they tried to treat me, or when I was being treated for it, and I went to them telling them, look, I don't know what to do, but my body is red with hives. I'm at work looking really bad. I don't know if this is contagious. I don't know what's wrong, but I'm just, everything on my body is red, blistered up, bruised, cracked, everything. And it's because of this medicine. I have to stop taking it. But the doctor wouldn't see me. I'm talking to the front desk lady telling her this. I left work early to, try to figure out what was going on and should I stop taking it? Because at that time, this is my first time really being sick to the point where I'm, going to a normal doctor and stuff. So I don't know the protocol for, making appointments and, emergencies to where you need to actually talk to the doctor and just, between just going up there and making an appointment and all that good stuff. So I really don't know. I'm just like, y'all help me. I don't know what to do, but y'all, gave me this. I need to stop taking it or get something else, but I don't know what to do. So when I go up there, she's like, well, it's going to be a copay to see the doctor today for him to tell you what to do. And I was like, what? Like, no, I can tell myself to stop taking this medicine, but I'm letting you know that I'm allergic to it. So he needs to help me, like, really. And the fact that he wouldn't see me without me giving a copay, to me, at the time, it was one of those things where I was like, this is not a doctor who's trying to help me. This is a doctor trying to get my money. And I don't want no parts of it. I don't want a doctor like that because I don't think he's helping me. And come to find out, he wasn't helping me. He was really just guessing. He was just trying stuff and hoping that it stuck. And that potassium iodide that broke me out and messed me up was really what caused me to have the Hashimoto's Thydoiritis. And I would have never guessed that until I found out about iodine being the worst thing to treat Graves' disease with. So if you have been told to get your radioactive iodine treatment, or RAI, some people say it, or total thyroidectomy, or they take it out. I know a lot of people are leaning towards that instead of the radioactive iodine. I can't tell you what to do about that. But what I can say is please do not allow them to put you on potassium iodide to try to treat anything having to do with your thyroid unless They know exactly the exact right dosage, or I wouldn't even let them treat your thyroid with iodine, period. I would try to go to as many doctors as I could before, to get as many opinions as I could before I did anything with my thyroid. I understand with Graves' disease, it's one of the, it's when you're hyper, you're you're going at 1,000 miles a moment, and you don't really know what to do. You're antsy, you're anxious, you have anxiety attacks and all that stuff. And I understand. I went through it. I went through it, especially before I knew that I had it. I was going through it. Just like Missy Elliott, if you would read her story, I was going through all of that, shaking, all that. So I understand it's hard, but don't be in a rush to try to fix something that may cause you more harm in the future. Now, I'm in Graves' disease groups now, because after leaving the doctor's appointment the endocrinologist the first time that I'm at now, I was convinced I was back to having Graves' disease. I was like, okay, well, I have it. And then they have a group called Graves' disease with people who have taken radioactive iodine treatment. And that's where I learned all this stuff about the potassium iodide. So, excuse me. So, I'm now in Graves' disease groups, even though I no longer have it, or I don't know. I'm going to just say I have both, just because even though I don't have signs of Graves' disease, I had it, and you're supposed to have it for your life. And I have Hashimoto's based on the lab work and all that good stuff. So I guess I'm just one of the lucky people who has both. But I encourage you, if you are not in a group on Facebook or whatever other site has groups for things like this, I encourage you to get on it. You can learn so much. One of the big things in the groups that I'm in is going gluten-free. The explanation is that the body is attacking itself. Well, the body is attacking the thyroid, and that's what the whole premise of thyroid disease is, or at least Hashimoto's. And since it's attacking the thyroid, even though it's gone, it's attacking all of the antibodies in your body that look like thyroid to it. So when you eat certain things that have gluten in them, gluten looks like the thyroid hormone, which causes your body to attack it, which causes you to feel bad. And so a lot of people have gone gluten-free. Some people have gone soy-free. There's a diet, I can't remember what it's called, but a lot of people have taken to a different, diet and lifestyle change to work with it, to try to make sure that, the stuff that they're putting in their bodies is not being attacked by the antibodies in everything that's attacking the thyroid. So, So, just, I want to say, do yourself a favor. If you're watching my video, go join. If you're Hashimoto's, if you're Graves, go join a group that is on Facebook. And if you have a great group that you're in, and I'm not in it, you can search my name. It's Gabrielle. My name is Gabrielle Traylor. I do know that. So it's Traylor. Yeah, search your group for me. If I'm not in the group, send me an invitation if you're in a good group on Facebook. I don't post a lot, but I do respond to certain posts. I will admit, some of the posts will get you down. And the reason I say that is sometimes in a group mentality, when one person complains and you start remembering how you were feeling, because, at some point, I think we all start feeling the same way. And when somebody starts complaining about something going on, and then you start remembering how you felt when it was going on in your life, you honestly may just start remembering that, and then you might start channeling those feelings and start feeling bad all over again. So be careful and be mindful of that I don't want to say there are a lot of complainers in the groups, because it's not complaining, because we're going through something, but know that there are a lot of people going through, and you might want to steer clear of that if you're having a bad day. Or if you're having a good day, then update it with something uplifting and fun. Some people are posting their kid pictures, and some people are posting before and afters. Now, I have a before picture of when I was on Graves' disease, and I look terrible. I look so sick in the face. And I mean, it's one of those things where in the Hashimoto's groups, it's like people are showing how they were skinny before and now they picked up a lot of weight, and a lot of people can't lose weight and stuff like that. And I'm very mindful of that. I'm mindful of the fact that I cannot gain weight to save my life. I don't know what it is. I eat what I want. I don't exercise. I'm just really bad at eating. I'm a really poor eater and a really picky eater. And since I'm really, really, really picky, I don't eat a lot of meals. I eat when I feel like it. I only eat what I crave. So I miss some meals. It's just like that sometimes. If I don't feel like eating, I don't eat. I don't listen to the psychiatrist where they say, at least eat some crackers. I don't want crackers. I'm not eating crackers. So when I feel like eating, I eat. When I don't feel like eating, I don't eat. And that just seems to confuse my metabolism enough to not let me grow or gain a pound. If I gain any weight, it's 5 pounds at the max, and then it drops back down 10 pounds. So it'll make up for those 5 and then drop me back down 5 more. So it's always in between. So I'm always mindful not to go in that group and say, oh man, I cannot gain weight today, knowing that 90% of the group could be, going through a weight gain of 70 plus pounds. Be mindful of that. I'm just saying, I mean, we're all in this journey together. So even if you're going through that, going through losing weight and not being, I mean, just don't, I guess just word it in a way to where there are other, am I the only one who's going through this? And then maybe, it'll be that way. But I catch it sometimes where I see people that are doing, just saying stuff that's kind of one of those things that make me go, oh, I don't know if you should have said that, because people in here are a little sensitive to some things because of this disease. And the one thing that I can tell you that you will get a lot of likes for is if you say you hate your doctor, or you don't want to, you don't like your endocrinologist. I don't think anybody I don't think 90% of the people in the groups like the endocrinologist. Half the endocrinologists will not prescribe Armour. A lot of them will say that Armour is not a thyroid drug, only Synthroid is. So, just work it out that way. I'll probably do another video just with my Graves disease, because I know that with Graves disease I was on methimazole and that didn't work for me. So I might not, I may, but I'll try to keep you guys updated as much as I can. I'll try to keep these videos a little shorter. 30 minutes is a long time to try to do this, but I am updating you on what you've been missing for months. So if you have any questions or anything, you can find me on Facebook. I told you my name is Gabrielle Traylor. Or you can Google Plus me here, or just find me. I'm not hard to find, or comment here. I'll be here. Anyway, y'all be blessed. I'll be back soon this time with the story, because I'm gonna keep you updated on this doctor's thing, and I'm gonna try to make a shorter video just to give the story of what's going on with this whole Hashimoto's new, doctor type situation, and just see what he says. He has me coming back, I believe, in 6 weeks after updating me on more thyroid hormone. So we'll see how that works, and I'll get the new lab working in 6 weeks as well. So I'll keep you updated, and y'all keep God first. God bless. Bye-bye.